Hey guys, it's Charlotte, and today's video is going to be another one in my series of ripping on, which is calling out predators, PDFs, and psychopaths. Triple P, I guess. And today I'm specifically focusing on content creator, you could call him Jimmy Knowles, also known as JimmyOnRelationships. And this is a guy who has really been hiding undercover, but in plain sight, right in front of our noses, making a mockery of his wife and being a part of a vulnerable community, which is love after abuse and narcissism. So hiding within a vulnerable community and making a living off of it. As you'll come to see from watching this video, Jimmy is a high IQ, high functioning, covert narcissist psychopath. And I really feel bad for his wife and how he dresses up as her, makes fun of her, spreads false information, and gloats his ego and justifies bad behavior, honestly. I know that I'll probably get some backlash from his fans, from the stands, and to people who aren't awakened to psychopathy and narcissism, but I hope that with this video, I can help educate people on narcissism and psychopathy and how it presents and how it's kind of going by in front of your eyes, guys, without you being aware at all. I looked and no one is talking about this. I seem to literally be the only one talking about the fact that Jimmy is a narcissist himself and why that is so. And I'm happy to bring awareness to this today. I am a layman and I speak from my lived experience of 9 years of daily communication with a psychopath, so I understand the psyche thereof very well. But if you are not aware of psychopathy or narcissism at all, I would recommend listening to Dr. Ramani, watching her videos, and reading Dr. Karen Mitchell's tweets and her thesis, which I do sometimes deliver vocally on my stream. So yeah, basically I just really want to bring awareness to the fact that this guy is making a living off of his advice after cheating on his wife and dressing up as her and making funny, they're not that funny, skits, making fun of victims and situations, and specifically dressing up as his wife, which I just find to be so strange. I really hope that this video can be educational and can bring awareness to psychopathy and narcissism as a whole, but specifically it's on Jimmy Knowles in this case. The footage you'll see after this intro is all from a live stream I did, which is still public on my YouTube. That you can watch the entire, I think, 3.5 hour live stream if you want to. This footage is condensed form of that, so it's more cohesive and put together for you guys to be able to get all the points of interest and all of the information about Jimmy and his psyche. I hope that this video can be educational and open some eyes. Okay?
So guys, today we are going to be deep diving into researching and sadly consuming some of the content of a man by the name of Jimmy Knowles, known on his social media as Jimmy on Relationships. So if you first just look at his page, it seems like he's just giving relationship advice. He's just trying to help people in relationships. If you read his YouTube bio and you actually get the lore on him, he cheated on his wife, then he gaslit her into staying with him instead of rightfully leaving as she should. Because done it before, will do it again, foe not friend. And then Jimmy Knowles has created a whole online internet facade business giving advice on relationships and specifically about narcissism, yet never admitting that he himself is one. But as we'll see and put together the rational pieces, we will understand and come to see that this is a psychopath narcissist, cheated on his wife, probably is cheating on her currently or has since, with all of the attention he's getting now, and probably girls in his inbox. I wouldn't be surprised if he's done it again. He's created this whole facade that he's just trying to help people in relationships. And specifically, he's trying to figure out what love is. Those of us who aren't psychopaths, who aren't serial cheaters, who have access to empathy, we know what love is and what love feels like. We don't need to learn. And this is why one of my psychopath narcissist abusers got a master's in psychology, and same reason why Jimmy on Relationships is trying to figure out what love is, trying to see what an empathetic brain is actually like, because he doesn't have one, whilst also talking about narcissism and a lot about narcissist state of mind. If he just genuinely regretted cheating on his wife, why is he talking about narcissism and doing skits where he dresses up as his wife and then doing a skit like it's fiction, when in fact he's just giving his internal dialogue of the narcissist state of mind and what a narcissist is thinking when they're looking and talking to their victim, as predators do, making his whole living based on Jimmy on Relationships, just a guy trying to help learn how to love, whilst also giving internal dialogue of narcissists and psychopaths, but not admitting that it's actually his internal dialogue. Not actually admitting. Because that would be incriminating. But we can put together the pieces to realize it's just him speaking about his own state of mind, about his wife and how he actually feels about her and treats her. But putting it in the facade of he's just making a skit, guys. He's just trying to bring awareness for other people. It's not how he thinks. I see through that facade. I see through it instantly, because I have long-term experience. And then going, boo, oh, I didn't mean to. It was a one-off. I'm so sorry. I see through the facade, because the same excuses my groomers used to their wives when they told me how they actually think. Of course, there's things they held back, but I know that internal dialogue that they're having. And the problem with Jimmy on Relationships is he's admitting it out in the open. You're a psychopath narcissist. And also like atrioc. And also like Herschel Beam. All the same psyche, guys. And also all the same situation. Married men cheating on their wives and then saying, I'm sorry. You can't believe that I actually meant that. I was just feeling really lonely. You must forgive me. And then sadly their wives do, because their wives aren't aware on psychopathy and narcissism and are groomed, have been long-term groomed by their husbands. And I also just want to say, I feel so sad for Jimmy Knowles' wife, because not only is he making a mockery of his wife on the internet, putting a wig, dressing up as her, but saying it's just a skit, making generalizations, not actually representing him and his wife, but he's making money from it and is probably the breadwinner, and therefore his wife feels inclined to have to stay with him. And plus that public facade is then making the wife think, well, he's putting this effort into changing, into educating. He's just making a very well-versed public facade. He's fooling you. Psychopaths, narcissists, cheaters don't have access to empathy or a conscience. They've never felt love. They never will. Ma'am, Jimmy Knowles' wife, listen to his words in his own skits when he's speaking of the narcissist state of mind. Those things that he's saying, how you not having lack of boundaries and you having past trauma, how that makes you guys a perfect pair. That's a prime victim for him. He gets off on that. Stop the cycle, ma'am. Break up with the husband, and you, wife of Jimmy Knowles, create your own channel, your own YouTube channel, your own TikTok, and make videos talking open and honestly about everything that you've been through as the victim of this cheater, psychopath, narcissist that makes a mockery of you and your guys' relationship and tries to make it like he's the good guy. And then I even saw something of him trying to say that it's mutual accountability, trying to make it like you're somehow a problem in this, of his cheating and now of his public mockery of you and your guys' relationship. Goals with this is not just ripping on Jimmy, okay? I make my ripping on videos to bring awareness on psychopath narcissists and to accurately and honestly describe their actual intentions and the reasoning and mindset behind their facade. Because for 9 whole years, I was in almost daily communication with a married psychopath, giving me his internal dialogue, what he thinks about his wife, how they actually think. Of course, there's still things they held back, because why would they ever be 100% openly honest? Oh, but I sure got a good idea. I know very well what Jimmy's thinking of you, ma'am. You are a pawn in his money-making scheme. What he's doing is trying to help other psychopaths how to get away with it better and groom their wives that they've cheated on, demeaned, abused, and how to make their wives fall in line and forgive them. That's what Jimmy's actually doing. Okay, that was a long intro. It's also hiding in plain sight. The same reason why my first PDF psychopath, married with children, was at his prepubescent daughter's school learning internet safety for children online when he was grooming, exploiting a child the day before he got arrested. And he donated the board of a children's charity. Because it's part of the facade. Because that's how you get away with it. Because that's optimal. To make people think you're a good person. And that's what Jimmy Knowles is doing. Jimmy creating his online public persona mask is also, yes, his way to get new supply whilst keeping his current supply in control. It's a win-win for him at the cost of our sanity. Psychopath, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. I'm gonna be deep diving into this guy. Dear Jimmy Knowles' wife, your husband isn't gonna change. Your husband hasn't changed. He's just using new tactics and is making a public mockery of you and what he's done to you, and is actually using his platform to fool you and to stroke his ego and make himself look good. But he did what he did. He's being open about narcissist point of view, which is him just talking about his own internal point of view towards you and how he feels about you. The way to keep your children safe and you safe and out of the grasp of this psychopath narcissist is to divorce him and leave him. We stand with you. I stand with you, making your own social media platform, talking about how Jimmy actually is and how embarrassing it has been for you, and try to say that he's just trying to learn what love is. Love isn't possible for him. Evil, manipulative, and I see him getting his narcissistic rocks off. And he's doing it publicly for all to see, but under the guise of education. The fact they have children together. My PDF file groomers had children as well with their wives. That doesn't make them a good person. A lot of them intentionally get a wife and children as a public facade, an optimal public facade, to then do nefarious things like cheating, like going after minors, like being serial killers as well. Because who would expect? Because that's how you get away with it, for what they truly are, not the excuses that they will spin to try to mitigate the truth of their actions that came to light to help those around them and to make others aware. so then we can distance ourselves from them, and for those in their lives to go no contact from. Jimmy Knowles is not a stupid man. He's an intellectual, smart, high-functioning psychopath. So they mimic, but they don't ever have natural reaction. So some of them can mimic a smile very well, but a lot of the time it doesn't show in the eyes, like his doesn't. It's not in the eyes, it's vacant, just moving the mouth into a smile-like formation. He doesn't say how he cheated on his wife and that's why he instigated this whole thing. He just says he's a husband and a father. My first groomer had almost the identical thing in his Twitter bio. A loving husband and father. Because they gotta make sure to let people know, I've got a wife, I have children, therefore I must be a good guy. But he got married, he has children, how could he be bad? Because that's how a high-functioning psychopath gets away with it. I think it's evil that they get married and have children. I think that a psychopath should stay a bachelor for life and just, I don't know, have hookups or just associate with other psychopaths. I don't think that they should bring a partner into their life and then make fun of that partner. But as we'll see him admit in this video, an empath with who has had prior trauma is an optimal victim for a psychopath, for them to toy with, because the victim's completely unaware or has already been broken down so much. Psychopaths sadly are drawn to us. They can manipulate and sadistically destroy us best. This is why they get into relationships and marry and have children and involve all of these kind people into their life. And remember, when he's saying if the narcissist was actually honest, he's saying if he was actually honest. He's actually just giving his internal dialogue here. Remember that their entire existence is based upon hurting others, and watch it from the point of view of he's just talking about himself, guys. He's talking about himself. He's saying it with a jovial, funny voice. We're gonna listen to it with how he's explaining it here, and then I'm gonna deliver it with how his internal voice is actually saying it. So let's listen to how he says it. This is him being honest though, and then I'm gonna deliver the lines accurately of how he's actually feeling.
Narcissist. Yeah, but you seem so nice. Oh, I'm pretending. Really? Yeah, I figured out if I'm charming and funny and give you lots of attention and affection, then I can get you to fall in love with me. Why do you need me to fall in love with you? Oh, because then you're less likely to leave once I start lying and belittling and...
He's saying this to his wife. I feel so bad for his wife that he makes a mockery of her like this. Sorry, I had to pause it already.
Sliding you and chipping away at your self-worth in order to control and manipulate you. Huh. Yeah, it works especially well if you have a history of trauma where you tend to blame yourself even though you're the one being neglected. That sounds like abuse. Oh, it definitely is. Why would you do that? Oh,
that sounds like abuse, Jimmy. Is that him actually admitting that he's abusing his wife when he does those things? Interesting.
Insecure. I can see that. Yeah, I have a massively fragile ego and a fear of rejection, so I've created a fantasy world in which I'm the center of the universe and everyone else is inferior. Wow. Yeah. Well, thank you for telling me all this up front before we formed a complicated trauma bond that would have caused...
Complicated trauma bond that would have caused me years of misery. That is what he's done to his wife and continues to do.
Here's the misery. Yeah, well, I just want people to know what they're getting into. I mean, you by chance don't struggle with a lack of boundaries and self-esteem issues, do you? I do, actually. Dang it. We probably would have made a great pair. Yeah, I bet. A good thing you showed me these red flags up front so I could protect myself. Well, if there's one thing...
No psychopath would ever be honest and upfront, because that's incriminating. So we have to realize when they are admitting it inadvertently through a little skit like this, we have to look at it through a logical lens and realize he's actually being honest about himself. Oh, it's funny, it's just a skit, I'm just educating people. No. Psychopath.
It's honest and transparent in the beginning.
He's not dumb,
Hey,
but he is, because I'm breaking it down now, so it does make him look kind of silly. I'm gonna read it from his point of view, not how he's delivering the line so that it's palpable for his audience and the actual evil psyche of. They have fun halfway admitting things and rubbing it in people's face. Sick. They love doing it in plain sight. Doing it in plain sight is so fun for them because it shows them that they're getting away with it. They're like, look at this. Nobody's catching on. I'm making money. I've 1.9 million followers. My wife's not going to leave me because I'm making the money now. And I'm showing her I'm a good husband and I've changed. And that brings him supreme joy. Let me deliver the lines accurately from how he actually feels. Hey, it's great to meet you. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, you too. So, I'm a narcissist. But you seem so nice. Oh, I'm pretending. Really? Yeah. I figured out if I'm charming and funny. Which, being charming is... This is a classic ploy of narcissist psychopaths. They fooled me with it, guys. They fool me with it. God, they have fooled me with it so good because it makes them really enticing. They're charming. They're kind. It's the love bombing. It lures in victims well and give you lots of attention and affection. Then I can get you to fall in love with me. Why do you need me to fall in love with you? Oh, because then you're less likely to leave when I start lying. When I show my true colors and the mask comes off and belittling and gaslighting you and chipping away at your self-worth in order to control and manipulate you. Yeah, it works especially well if you have a history of trauma where you tend to blame yourself even though you're the one being neglected. That's evil. Oh, it definitely is. Why would you do that? I'm deeply insecure. And this actually founded to not be true. That psychopaths and narcissists are deeply insecure. They actually are quite happy with themselves. This is a good ploy for them to pretend, say they're deeply insecure, because that makes us, with empathy, empathize with them and make us think, oh, they're just really insecure and sad. No, 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 no. He's not insecure or sad at all. Jimmy is sitting back like this, thinking about this whole online thing he's created and all of the fooling he's done. He's not insecure. Narcissists and psychopaths are completely self-aware. They know exactly what they're doing and they like doing it. It's not because they're insecure. It's because they enjoy demeaning you. Okay, so it's not that they're insecure. Just FYI. King of the world. That's how they feel, yes. Empathetic camouflage. I like that wording of it. And this isn't true. Yeah, I have a massively fragile ego and a fear of rejection. They don't. Their fear that they have would be someone like me breaking down his facade, ripping on. It's not that kind of dialogue they have. This is it's a good ploy for them, though. So I've created a fantasy world in which I'm the center of the universe. This is actually what he's done, though, with his social media, that he's smarter than, because in a way he has gotten away with it. So it's not a fantasy. They bring it into reality. This is where the truth is, and everyone else is inferior. Oh wow, yeah, well, thank you for telling me this up front before we created a complicated trauma bond. You would never say that. Yeah, I just want people to know what they're getting into. I mean, you by chance don't struggle with lack of boundaries and self-esteem issues, do you? I do actually. Dang it. We probably would have made a great pair. So they're actually thinking that. And when they see a new possible supply, they're thinking, and we make a good pair. Has no boundaries, has had trauma, doesn't know what I'm doing. I can play the nice guy and be charming, and they won't even know. This is why, guys, I also have trouble with psychopaths trying to educate others about psychopathy and narcissism. They're never going to be fully honest. He's doing it in this funny kind of skit way. He's not actually showing the depth of it. That's like something that I realized too with my groomers and abusers. I still will never know the true depth of their evil because there's always things they've held back, and I will never be in their mind because my mind is not like theirs. They are so evil though, guys. We have to remember this, okay? But do keep it in mind that this is what they're thinking. I bet. Good thing you showed me these red flags up front so I could protect myself. If there's one thing I am, it's honest and transparent. Look how he's making a mockery of his wife. If anything, what this skit is him representing his first date with his wife and his internal dialogue of laughing about it. We need not have narcissist psychopaths be the voice of psychology on narcissism and psychopathy, because they dampen it down, try to normalize it. He's openly admitting if the narcissist is actually honest, he's saying if he was actually honest. I'm just interested in what this is. This is his buddy. Wow, it's selling a workshop. Herschel! Guys, this is hilarious. It said Herschel. Is Herschel Beam taking notes? Herschel should take notes because Jimmy's doing a pretty good job. Herschel could take notes, yeah. Husband and father, guys, who just wants to learn what love requires of him. What's the best facade to make it look like I love my wife? This gives my second groomer, he spun what he thought would be able to get her to forgive him best. The same thing happened to Jimmy. So I just find this funny. Yeah, became an enabler. She may be stuck in that position for a long time. Unfortunately, yes. I don't blame my PDF file abusers' wives. I don't blame them, just like how I don't blame Atrioc's wife for staying with him. Just like how I don't blame Herschel Beam's wife for staying with him, just like how I don't blame Jimmy on Relationships' wife for staying with him. But I want them out. I want them to be able to find true love, which is not possible with a psychopath narcissist, such as their husbands. And I want them to take children away from their psychopath father, because that's the only way to fully heal. They are also victims, and I forgive them. And that they get out of the toxic situation that they're also in and victims of. And they have to radically accept who their husband is. This is just the truth of it. We are speaking on the subject, and this all relates to... I'd love to hear his wife's accounts of the event. Where's his wife speaking? This is some lore just on Jimmy. I confessed to my wife that I had an affair, and she kicked me out, rightfully so. Of course he's going to say that, rightfully so. Oh, what I did was bad. Oh, I'm admitting to it. And as I was sitting in my car alone, the alone, like, woe is me, so woe. Sitting in my car alone, wondering if I should text my mom or sleep in my car, I asked myself, was this pain I'm experiencing preventable? Not as that his wife is sad. Is the pain he's experiencing preventable? Can my marriage be saved even after an affair? What does a healthy relationship even look like? I couldn't stop obsessing over these types of questions, and after reading, after learning, just like how my abuser got masters in psychology so they can learn how those of us with empathy think, so they can optimally abuse us. After reading dozens of books on relationships and eventually rebuilding trust in my marriage, he rebuilt the trust. And eventually rebuilding trust in my marriage, I decided this is too important not to talk about. He's thinking, I can help other psychopaths and share what I've learned with others. Make a business out of it. So I can help your relationship in any way that I can. By the way, asterisk, I am not a coach. If your ex was narcissistic, pretending like he's helping others, I can just imagine, I can't to the full degree of it, the things that he is thinking when he's making these videos, trying to educate, help other people not be victims of narcissists. when he's a narcissist himself, he's not going to give the best advice because he's a narcissist himself. Look how many of these are about narcissism. And he's just saying how he wants to help relationships. Why is he constantly mentioning narcissists? We know that it's not his wife that's the narcissist in the relationship. Wow, look at it. This is a common stereotype perpetrated by psychopath narcissists. Women aren't attracted to nice guys. A warning to nice guys. Caution. He's not a nice guy. The way he's out in the open, but the way an uninitiated eye to psychopathy wouldn't understand this. This is an awful stereotype that he's perpetrating, but I'm not surprised. I feel so bad for all his viewers that have access to empathy, that are taking advice from this dude. This is not the dude you need to take advice from. Be a relationship that's not built on false pretense and pretending to know what love is. He doesn't know what love is, never will. This isn't the guy. I can't believe the gall of this guy, but they're all kind of like this. This is the big question. Is Jimmy on relationships and how to be a loving husband and father who wants to know what love really looks like? Why is he doing videos on narcissism and the psyche of narcissists if that has nothing to do with him? I'm not going to take advice from a narcissist on how to protect myself from them. Guys, and also shaming his wife. Shaming his wife here. This content should not even exist. But who it's for is for psychopaths trying to save their marriage that they sabotaged. We stopped fighting after realizing this. The truth of it is, I manipulated in my wife to calm her down, to make her stop worrying. How it's not the creepy guy next door, how it's the handsome guy is give advice, but is actually speaking about himself. So we have broken down his YouTube channel here. This is just him ripping on his wife, so let's listen to that. My wife has too much masculine energy. Let's hear.
All right, question of the day. My girlfriend is generally in her masculine energy. Is there anything I can do?
He chose to answer this question. Question of the day. He chose this.
My girlfriend is generally in her masculine energy. Is there anything I can do to get her back into her feminine? Okay, so normally I don't buy into the whole masculine feminine energy thing. My first question would be, what does being in her masculine mean to you? Because most of the time what I assume you mean is she's more guarded, more dominant, independent, maybe stoic. And we have a tendency to see those in a female as bad. Even in your question, you're asking, how can I get her to be different than the way she is?
He's telling the guy, you're not going about it in a good way. That's looked down upon in society. I wouldn't word it as such.
And what we don't realize is that that's part of the reason she's guarded and independent in the first place, because she's never felt accepted and loved.
Wow, because she's guarded and independent
in the first place.
So he's using the word 3 times now. He's used it, independent, and he has a negative lens of that. The reason she's independent in the first place,
because she's never felt.
Oh, it's just because she's never felt accepted and loved.
Who she is. The people who were supposed to love and accept her the most, the people who were supposed
to made her independent when she could be more submissive.
Treat her with the most warmth and consistency and remind her she's valuable and worthy of their time, energy, and attention, potentially neglected her. She most likely doesn't know what safety feels like. So the last thing we want to do is make her feel like the way she is bad and that she's not good enough and she needs to change to be accepted. Now, 2 quick points. I'm not saying that she's setting herself up for a healthy relationship by being closed off. I'm saying her behavior.
Wow. And then blames the woman.
I'm not saying that she's
setting herself up for a healthy relationship.
But for a healthy relationship by being closed off.
By being closed off. By being masculine. By being guarded. By being independent. She's not setting herself up for a good relationship.
Her behavior makes sense. She's protecting herself from being hurt again. And 2, your needs matter as well in this situation.
He's saying how to wean her down, how to break her down so she's malleable. I hate this guy. I hate Jimmy Knowles.
You don't need to get her to do anything. You can inspire her. You can provide her the safe place she lacked growing up. You can seek to understand her pain and remind her she's worthy of kindness and respect.
But whether she's receptive to any of that...
My BS detectors are proficient. He's wording it in that way because... But whether she's receptive to any of that's still up to her. So this is what I'm doing to him right now. So let's watch this. Exposing the narcissist. Sometimes he makes him dressing up in a mockery as his wife. He makes the wife the bad guy, even though the way he dresses up as his wife. Oh, thank you. So we've been going out for a little while. I've been love bombing you pretty hard. The way he's just out in the open. Like, he's acting like, I said this, but he's acting like it's just pretend, just a skit, when it's actually him being fully honest about his internal narcissistic dialogue, still watering it down a bit, but we've kind of seen this one. Because they never are. Because they never are. And he genuinely thinks he's never wrong. Literally, the psychopaths, they think, all of them, they think that they're better than the rest of the population because of their ability to manipulate, because they don't have emotions. They see that as a beneficial thing, and they literally think they are better than everyone else. It is a lie that they have insecurity problems. They're actually very, very happy. They're incredibly conscious of what they do, and yeah, they're proud of themselves. Okay. They wouldn't be, the thing though is a narcissist, if they were asked these questions, he's giving the internal dialogue, but they wouldn't actually be open, honest about this. It's not funny. Shamelessness, yep. They don't have shame. They've never felt shame. They don't feel shame, guys. They get pissed off when they get caught, and then they have to play the woe is me, and they do the fake tears, but it's not actually them. Okay. You being superior to everyone. It's not because they're insecure. They genuinely think they're superior. He's joking about it. He's like, ha 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 ha. Oh yeah, guys, this is how you expose a narcissist. Ha 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 ha. Oh yeah. But then he thinks, no, I know all of the correct answers to say to that for what they would expect. And my whole page is teaching you how to lie to your wife that you cheated on and how to get her back in good graces. Do you see the psyche, guys? Do you see the psyche? The way they're not honest, they would never openly admit, because that would out their entire facade. So why would they? That would be stupid. It's so clear. How to get your wife to you more. That's what this is. Giving fellow cheating psychopaths advice. So let's see what his advice is to get her to be in the mood more. Connected to you. No, he isn't. No, he isn't. Poor woman. No, he isn't. No, he isn't. He just knows how to manipulate them really well. Love tank. No, he just, after a marriage, that's when they're like, and I have her. Now I can let the mask down. Now I don't have to love bomb anymore because I've secured them. That's the actual internal dialogue of him. That's probably when he cheated on her. That's probably when he cheated on her. Let's just take a break for a little bit. And then goes and hires a... He's giving advice to other psychopaths on what they can do. The kind of emotional things they can pretend to do to get the wife to trust them more. How to groom their wife, literally. Which ultimately made her feel more connected and wanted to go further. How to coercively control. Wow, and you might be exhausted as well. When he's saying that, he's thinking, I still want to oh my god. This is a common thing that he's heard everywhere, so he's just regurgitating. My guess is she finds it sexy when you do chores without having to be asked. That's not saying anything new. Everyone said that. Everyone said that, bro. You're selfish. He is. Sorry to tell you. He's the selfish lover, guys. He's the selfish mother. He's the cheater. Sorry to tell you, but you're the selfish one. He's just speaking to himself, really. If she feels like she's just a means to an end for you, he's saying she is just a means to an end for me to get my soul desire. But if she feels that way, that you don't really care about intimacy with her, and you just want to use her body, that's a big turn off for her, guys. You can't be open about that, okay? To do these other steps, okay, mate? I hate this guy. His synopsis of that is, she's not in the mood. How to make my wife fuck more. I hate this guy. A simple narcissist test. Oh my god, let's see. Okay, maybe this will be the last. I need to stop consuming his content. So I have people ask me whether they're a narcissist or not. He's like, I am, which is interesting. Yeah, they wouldn't ask that question because they know. He's saying, I know I am one. I don't need to ask. If you're having to ask that, a narcissist wouldn't out themselves. You're silly to even, of course you're not. A narcissist wouldn't ask that, because that would give themselves away, bro. That's what he's saying. He's speaking about it. But that's besides the point. And admit they're flawed. Why would they? That's besides the point, though. Not always, though. This isn't, because they can fake accountability. Just like how he faked accountability when he cheated on his wife. They can fake it, okay? The way they fake it. But he's saying, guys, this is the foolproof way to try to really get your wife to forgive you. I did it and I'm so sorry. Narcissists can fake a lot of things. Look at him looking like, I'm faking my entire existence right now. But he looked away there. But they do not. It goes against their programming. They can still fake that. That isn't a gotcha. It's not. But he's saying, he's trying to pretend it is. This is why you don't listen to this guy. This is why you don't take advice from him. Because he is a narcissist himself. This is how you can really fool them. Take fake accountability. It goes against their programming. No, they will lie to any means necessary. They will fake accountability. Like, some are more overt, some are more covert. It's both psychopath. The mask is eventually always let down in one way or another. It can't go against his program. That's a lie. They will fake it. I'm special. I deserve to be praised. If they made a mistake, it wouldn't be true. True. Or repair. No, this is false. This is false. This is straight up false. This is why you don't take advice on narcissism from a narcissist. A narcissist will repair their public facade, which is their breeding mule of a wife and children, and keeping that in under wraps so that they can look like a normal member of society. Okay? So this is a lie. And now other narcissists are watching this and are going to try to use that tactics. They're apologizing to their wife. A narcissist has no interest in accountability or repair. I wouldn't be begging for your forgiveness. I wouldn't be hitting, when they're not even truly admitting the depths of their depravity. This is why we don't take advice from a guy like this. This is a lie. Accountability says, sorry, I was wrong. I certainly didn't intend to hurt you, but I can see how this happened. That is him lying, though. That's how they would lie, though. But they can still, okay guys, they can still hide it. One of mine, his wife had Google tracking on his phone. He left his phone at work to go meet me. That looks to his wife like, no, guys, I've tracked him. There's no way he's cheating on me. There's no way. Jimmy would say, see, that's actual change. That's the facade of change. They didn't change. They hide it better. They learn. They learn and hide it better. The psyche never changes. Anyways, explore and learning how a victim, his wife, was affected so that going forward he knows how to manipulate her better is not the same as someone with empathy. It's not the same, the way he tries to act like it is. This isn't this isn't an easy narcissist test. No, it isn't. Lies. Not for a high-functioning, high IQ one. No, lies. Lies. He knows that it's the right play to say these words. That's why he said he studied all these books to learn. He was studying what is societally acceptable. And then he's playing that role. It's not the same as genuinely caring about one another. He's a narcissist, so we don't take advice from him, guys. Like, repair, no. It means that he's trying to repair the facade, which is to his benefit. If then they broke up and then divorce and then he doesn't have the children, he's not in control. That would anger the hell out of them. So that's why they repair. It's not because they actually care, and this is the test of if they're a narcissist or not. This is lies. This is lies. But he's saying this because this is exactly what he's done to his wife. He's quote unquote repaired the relationship. So he's saying this is the telltale, when that's not the case. It's just him trying to pat his own back and secure his facade. Try to see, I'm not a true narcissist because. No, you just fooled. No, lies. He can say those things. That's just. That literally reminds me of both of my groomers' wives and the fooling of, they'd go, guys, they go to the counseling, they go to the marriage counseling, but they just learn from it on how to manipulate the partner better. I hate this. Don't take advice from this guy. He is a con artist. All narcissists are. Trying to keep his wife in a state of perpetual pain from what he did. Staying in the relationship is enough evidence for you. The relationship was over as soon as he cheated. Plain and simple. Exactly. He outed himself. That's the end. He won't change. But a narcissist isn't one of them. You might be a lot of things, but a narcissist isn't. He's trying to say, see, I'm not. This is him trying to build himself up to be able to say, see, this is the way. I'm not. See, I tried to repair it, therefore I'm not. Haha, get got. It's not a simple test. He's lying. He's spinning the truth. This is the excuse he's used to his wife. It can't be me because I tried to repair it. Both of my narcissists tried to repair the relationship, repair their facade. They did a good job of it, fooled their wife. Doesn't mean they're not a narcissist psychopath who were going after minors for multiple years on end. Say that though, because that works to your benefit. Once someone, aka his wife in this situation, once someone forgives a psychopath, they see it as a green light. They do. Once the wife forgives them, once the victim forgives them, they're like, literally green light in their head. Light bulb goes off. I've won. But he never openly describes it as such. Guys, I think I've done a good deep dive onto this narcissist psychopath. I feel bad for her, for this woman. I feel really bad for his wife. Never is she shown. Only shown in his profile photo so he can say, look it, I'm with my wife. I'm back with her. Made her trust me again. so that she doesn't take my children away from me and make me look like the bad guy. That's the true inner dialogue of them. Nowhere is his wife here. It's to keep the facade under wraps, guys. I would say that we've done a pretty sufficient deep dive into the psyche of Jimmy Knowles, also known as Jimmy on Relationships. Guys, it's clear. This man is a psychopath. This man is a narcissist. This man dampens psychopathy and narcissism. Learning about psychopathy and narcissism from a narcissist themselves is never going to be educational, because within it are lies spun to make themselves look better and to normalize and glamorize their behavior to continue getting away with it in society. They never give the true depths of their evil. Jimmy is not a reliable source on relationships, on love, on true love. No one with access to empathy should be consuming Jimmy's content. Do not take advice from this man. His online facade is a part of him keeping his wife in check and coercively controlling her to stay with him, to prove that he's a good guy. Okay? You're a part of his plan. You're not to blame if you're consuming his content, because most people aren't aware on psychopathy. They aren't aware. And then they're learning it on TikTok from guys such as Jimmy, who is a narcissist himself. Sadly, consuming his content is playing into his ploy and stroking his ego, feeding into his ego, proving to him what he already thinks, because this is what psychopaths think. They aren't insecure. They truly believe they are holier, better than thou, because of their capacity to manipulate and because they don't have access to emotion. And the way they can get away with it in plain sight, like Jimmy is, that makes them so happy. Everything they do is for their advantage, never for the greater good of society, all for themselves. He's made a whole career off making a public mockery of his wife, dressing up as her. Does she even know? I don't know if she does. I feel really, really bad for his wife. I really hope that she sees this, honestly, and that she can garner the strength and has the familial and financial support to be able to leave this man and to be able to create her own presence online, use her freedom of speech, her voice, and speak up about the truth of what it's been like living with a psychopath narcissist all these years. And the lengths he's gone to. I hope, and for her to then take advice from Dr. Ramani and Dr. Karen Mitchell, the very reliable professional sources. I'm a layman. I speak from my life experience of 9 years, almost daily speaking with married psychopaths. Mine specifically were PDF files. I really hope that this can awaken lots of wives, lots of victims of psychopaths, narcissists, and to help educate the populace, okay? Because this is the only way to be able to stop narcissist psychopaths from flourishing, such as Jimmy Knowles is by educating people on the truth of their nature, how they hide in plain sight, and the lengths they go to keep their facade under wrap. I hope this video was helpful, educational. Jimmy Knowles, if you see this, I see through you. I know exactly the kind of psyche you are. Been done before. All the same. Same playbook, same psyche. I get you. And I think that you're a fool. And I'm calling you out, ripping on you, justifiably so. Goodbye.